Jealous militant lesbians at work proved that they did not want me to be a lover at work. If they wanted me to be a lover, then they would not have said that if I were a lover, then no one would buy my book. They would have rather said that they would personally buy and help distribute my book and work to get me on TV and radio so that millions of people would hear my message. If they wanted me to be a lover, rather than refusing to remove the threat of traumatic punishment, they would have said that they would make sure that I was not punished for being a lover, but would rather be greatly rewarded for being a lover. When they heard about me being a lover with women at bars, rather than slandering me for being a lover with good and loving women at bars, they would have greatly praised me for being a lover with women at bars and said that they would praise me even more if I did at work what I did at bars. It is easy to know if militant women do or do not want a man to be a lover at work. If militant women slander a man for being a lover with women at bars, then it proves that they do not want him to be a lover at bars nor at work. But if militant women greatly praise a man for being a lover with women at bars, then it proves that they do want him to be a lover at work, at bars and at work. If militant women had praised me for being a lover at bars, then it would have proven that they wanted me to be a lover, and I would have been a lover at work as well. But because they always slandered me for being a lover at bars, it proved that they did not want me to be a lover at work. So the threat of traumatic punishment for being a lover at work remained. Some women have asked the question, why would I think that I would be punished for being a lover? It is because jealous militant lesbians said that they would punish me for being a lover by their words and actions. The threats, the slander, and the punishment was proof enough to me. Realize that the definition of a militant lesbian is a woman who is driven by lust for sex with women and sexual hatred of men. They do not want men to be lovers of women, because if women are having sex with men, then they are not giving militant lesbians the sex that they demand from women. When they hear about a man having one-night stands with women at bars, they are so filled with jealous rage that they could burn the bar down. When I had a one-night stand with one woman at a bar and mentioned it at work, I was asked the location of the bar. Within 1 week, the bar was burned to the ground. I heard that female friends of the bar owner told her to not rebuild the bar. When militant lesbians are filled with jealous rage toward male lovers of women, there is very little doubt that militant lesbians do not want men to be lovers, and certainly do not want men to get credit and respect for being lovers of women. It is easy to prove that militant lesbians are sexual liars. An obvious false statement is proof of a lie. Contradictory statements is proof of a lie. When militant lesbians say things like, all men are rapists, it is an obvious sexual lie. When militant lesbians say that all heterosexual sex is rape, it proves that they want to end all heterosexual sex. When militant lesbians, on the other hand, said that they wish men were lovers of women who get even more sex from women, then the contradiction proves that they are lying. You cannot say out of one side of your mouth that you want to end all heterosexual sex because it is rape, and out of the other side of your mouth say you want men to get even more sex from women by being lovers. Their own words prove that they are sexual liars. Militant lesbians will never admit to punishing men for being lovers because they do not want women to know that militant lesbians are acting to hurt women by destroying male love and compassion for women. So they play a dishonest game called we are attacking men to defend and help women. They slander a man for being a lover and then claim they are trying to help women by attacking him for not being a lover as they define the word lover. When a militant lesbian at work heard about me sharing pleasure with a woman at a bar that I just met, she responded with a sexual slander. He forced himself on her. When I explained that I gave her the pleasure that she wanted and asked for through her body language and actions, and she complimented me for pleasuring her, the militant lesbian then responded with the sexual slander, "He should have done more." When a militant woman at work heard about me having a one-night stand, she responded with the sexual slander, "She was a whore." I guess militant lesbians believe that all men are rapists and all heterosexual women are whores. If I could write the Three Dog Night song Liar, or if I could rewrite the Three Dog Night song Liar, it would say the following. You say all men are rapists, so no man is a lover. You say you never punish men for being lovers, because no man really is a lover. Is that what you say? Is that what you say? Is that what you say? Liar! 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 Militant female man-haters at work are guilty of telling sexual lies about men, repeating sexual lies about men, sexually slandering men. These are all forms of sexual harassment. Women should not believe sexual lies. Women should believe what men say about themselves, not the sexual lies that militants say about them behind their backs. If a militant lies about a man behind his back, then he has no opportunity to refute the sexual lie. If you hear negative sexual gossip about someone, go to that person and ask if the sexual gossip is true or false. Often you will find that a militant enemy told a sexual lie about that person. What I said about myself is that I am a masculine heterosexual lover. When I gave good and loving women at bars the pleasure and sex that they wanted, I proved I was a masculine heterosexual lover. Good and loving women at bars supported me for being a masculine heterosexual lover. That proved that good and loving women at bars are good. Jealous militant lesbians at work opposed me for being a masculine heterosexual lover. That proves that jealous militant lesbians are evil. Shame on jealous militant lesbians for not wanting men to be masculine heterosexual lovers. As an expert in sexual relations psychology, I know that the following is true. The key to maximum shared happiness between men and women is not for men to be lovers of women, it is rather for men to be masculine lovers of women, as well as for women to be feminine lovers of men. I bet you never hear advice at a women's studies class at college on how women can be better lovers of men and better wives to their husbands. For greater sexual happiness, there must be mutual initiation of shared pleasure. Therefore, a man must be masculine and initiate pleasure based upon his desires, not just be a lover and focus solely on her desires. Contrary to the beliefs of jealous militant lesbians, it is good for men to be masculine, and it is good for men to make themselves happy. When jealous militant lesbians slander and punish a man for being masculine, it is sexual harassment and sexual abuse. By slandering and punishing men for being masculine, they inhibit men from men and emasculate men. And just as male rapists of women hate and punish women who dare to complain about being raped, militant lesbian emasculators of men hate and punish men for daring to complain about emasculation. I do not say these things out of opinion. I say these things out of personal experience. Militant women in the work environment hated me for complaining about being emasculated when I was a teenager. In their view, a woman who says all men are rapists should be supported as a hero of women and not hated for starting a joke against men. But if a man dares to complain about being emasculated and dares to speak the truth that some women do emasculate men, then they are filled with blind rage toward the man who dares to speak the taboo truth that no man dare speak of. If a man believes that slander and punishment of being masculine has inhibited him and emasculated him, then he has the right to complain. If a male does not complain, then how can he ever hope to change social conditions, end his emasculation, and end his suffering? Our society has failed our teenage children in many ways. Sure, we send them to high school where there are classes that can lead to college, but do we really help them in the ways that they need? At a time when body changes result in emerging sexuality, do we teach high school students sexual relationship psychology and how to build better understanding and relationships between men and women? At a time when they lack the experience to know what is really important in life, do we teach them the psychological secrets to success in life? As society, we have failed our teenage children. If a teenage male believes that slander and punishment of being masculine has emasculated him, then where can he turn for help? The best place would be someone with an understanding of sexual relationship psychology. But what if if the male asks his father if he can go to a psychologist and his father refuses to allow him to get the help that he needs? Someone say that a boy can ask his father for advice. But what if negative advice from his father was part of the problem in the first place? If you had a father that screamed in your ear that he was going to beat you within an inch of your life while he was beating you, and he believed that anyone who had sex outside of marriage would be tortured in hell for all of eternity, then would you ask him for advice on how to get sex from women? It would be good for a male to get advice from a sister or a trusted female friend. But what if the male has no sister and no female friend that he feels he can confide in and open up to? And what if the high school does not teach sexual relationship psychology, where males and females are taught to communicate and understand one another better, so there are better relationships between males and females? The only real option is to complain about being emasculated by slander and punishment of being masculine, so that social conditions will change to help you to end your emasculation and end your suffering. Women need to understand that jealous militant lesbians are sexually motivated to lie about others and spread sexual lies about others. If telling a sexual lie about someone can get a militant male or a militant female more sex, then the lie will roll off the tongue without hesitation. Of course some people lie to get sex, and lie about other people to increase their chances to get sex. If women hear negative sexual gossip about a man and believe that gossip without first asking the man if it is true or false, then those women owe that man a very, very big apology. If women hear a negative sexual gossip about a man and spread that negative sexual gossip before first checking if it is true, then those women owe that man a very, very big apology and may be guilty of participating in the sexual harassment of that man. If women hear negative sexual gossip about a man and they never let him know about it, even 10 or 20 years later, then those women owe that man a very, very big apology. And if jealous militant lesbians slander and punish a man for being a masculine heterosexual lover with good and loving women at bars, then they are guilty of sexual harassment and sexual abuse. They owe far more than an extremely huge apology. They may owe him over $1 trillion in damages. Yes, I said trillion with a T, because millions of lives have been greatly harmed by their opposition to my work to help millions of people nationally and billions of people globally. While it is true that at one time I was inhibited by slander and punishment of being masculine, the women I dated when I was 19 and thousands of good and loving women at bars helped me to become more masculine and a better lover of women. They helped me to be free to be a masculine lover of women. Through years of work, I learned the secrets to being a skilled lover and a perfect lover. Good and loving female singers who praised men for loving women were an inspiration to me. All men should praise and support good and loving women. If you want to hear more, listen to part 3. Thank you.